a theme, touchstone to recognize a standard by which we're recognized. Okay, we know who we are. There's a standard. We talk about the standard all the time. It's not just the way we perform on Sunday, it's how we go about our life on and off the field. We got to take advantage of every opportunity. Seize everything, man. Carpe omnia.
It's week number 16 of this National Football League season, and welcome to another edition of the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy here inside the Globe Live studio at the Star in Frisco. Bill Jones along with Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy. A happy holiday weekend to all of you out there. Big game on Christmas Eve, 3:25 kickoff on Sunday afternoon in Miami against the Dolphins. Two 10-4 teams, coach, two first-place teams, one of the marquee matchups in the league. What do you see when you look across at the Dolphins this week?
I mean, obviously an outstanding football team, extremely high on production. I mean, you start with their offense. I think their numbers speak for themselves. I mean, their ability to get the ball on the perimeter, both in the run and the pass, is unique. The big play production, the other key people is obviously the highest in the league. So this will be an excellent matchups on both sides of the ball. And I think the fact that, going down there, this will be a great opportunity for us to get a win on the road.
Yes, and after 5 straight wins, last week seemed like an aberration in Buffalo. What was the mindset of the team as they got back in here to work this week?
Well, the one thing about our football team, and just, clearly the teams I've coached, the work ethic and workload capacity has been extremely consistent. So, and that has been no different this week. I think we clearly understand the why and what we need to do, because I think when you do have negative experiences, that's really the gold, of the journey. And one of the things we talked about, the carpe omnia, sees everything, and these are the moments that are most important because your instincts and awareness develop, and as we all know, it's easy to ride on things when they're going well, but it's the things that don't go well. So I just think being in tune with that, I thought they were very accountable. Monday came in here. Wednesday was a good day, and it's the workload on Thursday. So, we're in the process of a really good week of prep.
This Miami team will get your attention real quick. Let's start on offense. And what are you seeing out of Tua Tagovailoa and what he has been able to do this year? Of course, he was beset with injury issues, been able to stay healthy, gets rid of the football quick, and has a lot of weapons to work with.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think just like anything in our league, it's so damn competitive. The availability is really the most important statistic. So I think the fact that he's played at such a consistent level week in and week out. The thing I see for him, and particularly, is the command of the offense. I mean, the ball is coming out extremely fast. I think it's 2.1 as far as the average when the ball is coming out. So, that tells you that he had the clear understanding that time clocks with him and the perimeter guys, command of getting the ball on the perimeter, the shifts and motions pretty much on everything. So you just see, he obviously has great numbers too. So, but he's having a heck of a year.
And speaking of great numbers and a heck of a year, 97 receptions for over 1,500 yards and 12 touchdowns for Tyreek Hill. And yet they've got Jalen Waddle out there too. And so that really puts a stress on the defense, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Two very dynamic, perimeter pieces there, and they do a phenomenal job, highlighting them, targeting them, make sure they get their touches. But, it doesn't stop there too. I mean, their ability to get the ball on the perimeter through the run game is as high as I can recall. So they do a great job of stressing your C gap, really challenging your contain elements, the eye discipline of the, of the linebackers, the fits and so forth. And, that'll be all part of the challenge this week.
And the two backs you're speaking of, Raheem Mostert has 18 touchdowns on the season, and Devon Achane out of Texas A&M, the rookie, he's got that same kind of speed that Hill has.
Oh yeah, no, it's track team speed-wise. There don't make no question about it. They get the ball at the second level. I mean, we got to tackle. We got to get back, and tackling has been a huge strength of ours all season. It was not in Buffalo, so we need to learn from that experience.
All right, we're just getting started on this edition of the Mike McCarthy Show. Up next, it's David Moore of the Dallas Morning News.
We got to get to them before they can get their speed. I got to do a great job rushing the quarterback. I got to do a great job setting the edge, slowing these guys down. It's going to take everybody, This is a team where it's not just about the back end. It's about, all 11 doing their job to slow these guys down so they never pick up that 100% speed.
The Mike McCarthy Show, presented by Reliant, is brought to you by Ford. Ford is the best in Texas. Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. It's Miller time. And by Reliant, official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back to the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy here inside the Globe Life studio. Bill Jones now joined by David Moore of the Dallas Morning News, SportsDayDFW.com. Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
You too, sir.
Yours.
Yeah.
And of course, David gets to travel on the holiday, gets to come
Christmas
back.
morning.
Christmas
Fly
morning
back.
he'll be. You think the team's got it tough. How about the reporters covering this team? All right, this team needs to get a win in Miami. It's been a while. They've been really good coming off of a loss, though.
Yeah, two different trends here, right? And it's not. This team has not lost back-to-back games all season. But let's take it farther than that. You go back 37 games, and this team has not lost back-to-back. That takes you back to November of the 21 season was the last time the Cowboys lost back-to-back games. That's significant. That tells you who the players are, how they respond to defeats. And there have been some bad defeats in there too. San Francisco earlier this year, some of the ones in previous years. It doesn't matter how they lose the game before, they respond the next week. That's an encouraging sign for the culture, I would say, they've built in the locker room. But the final part of it is, and you mentioned it, on the road. They're 2-3 on the road this season. They're averaging 18.3 points less on the road than they do at home. And that's the last box they have yet to check this season. They have not beaten a quality team on the road. Miami qualifies as a quality team on the road.
You know, and they really got a reprieve last week after the game in Buffalo. Then you turn around on Monday night and Jackson Smith and Jigba comes through for Seattle against Philadelphia to keep this thing even in the NFC East. Your feeling on the pulse of the locker room after that, and it's almost like they get a mulligan here.
Well, I think that after the loss to Buffalo, there was a resignation of, well, okay, we better figure this out because we're going to be on the road the entire playoff run here. You overlook because the loss was so bad, they did clinch a playoff spot with that, but they knew, I think they were resigned that we're going to be on the road. Well, Seattle coming back now puts it back in play again that, well, no, if we run the table here, we can still win the division. We can host some games at home where we've been dominant.
How much do you think the players need to see it, that they can go on there? Does it factor in their mind at all that they do not have as good a record? Because I think you can look at it that a lot of the reason for the road record not being as good has been the quality of the competition.
Well, clearly the quality of competition you play, but now let's take that to the postseason. What is the quality of opponents you're going to face? And the disturbing thing from my standpoint, would be that San Francisco and Buffalo, two teams you feel you're on the same level as, you weren't competitive in those games on the road. Philadelphia is a different matter. They were competitive in that game. They play there, every year. That's a different animal in my mind. But I think they do. They're going to have to address it if they don't win in Miami because they're going to play on the road all the way through. If they lose that one, it's hard to see a scenario with strength of conference and everything else that they would be able to get home field.
All right, David Moore, happy holiday travels for you.
Thank you.
And coming up next year on the Mike McCarthy Show, Will McClay breaks down some of the key performers on this Dolphins team, both offense and defense.
This segment is brought to you by WinStar World Casino and Resort, the casino of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'll see Sunday, but first and foremost, it's about our approach and our focus throughout the week, understanding that we've got to turn that up a little bit. We got to do that going into the week to make sure that everything that we've done throughout the week carries over. And this is a team that prepares the right way, attacks the day the right way, and it can't be any different when you go on the road to a place, hostile environment.
And who will the Cowboys be facing on Sunday? Let's take a look at those primary Miami Dolphin players with Will McClay here. Going to break it down on the telestrator. We start on offense. Let's start in the backfield, Will, with the rookie out of Texas A&M, Devon Achane.
Yeah, you see all the flashy pieces on the outside, but they're fourth in the league in rushing. We'll show you why here. Achane here, young rookie, great speed. All right, so you're going to look at it. They use motion, set up the defense. It sets up angles. They do a great job with angles, get the guys the balls in space that can read blocks, a lot of perimeter runs, and then you see them use that speed getting up to over 20 miles an hour.
And it's 4.32 speed at the combine from Achane. Their other guy, veteran guy who's been around in the league, and Mike McDaniel brought him over from San Francisco, Raheem Mostert, 18 rushing touchdowns this year.
18 rushing touchdowns. And again, a phenomenal job of using their pieces. Here what they do a great job of is getting leverage, out leveraging blocks and getting edges, and then using their speed. And you see him once he hits that gas, he's going to give you some chunk explosive plays.
All right, those guys on the outside, and everybody's heard of Tyreek Hill, and show us an example of how Tyreek Hill is able to get so open.
Yeah, and again, it's setting up from the run, opposite of what you think. But here they're going to go motion. They're going to do a couple of different motions. They get the defense's eyes in the wrong spot. You'll see the safety looking, and all it takes is a step, and Tua sees it with his back to it. He knows where it's going, and big shot over the top.
All right, and then on the other side, he was, I think, the 6th pick in the draft out of Alabama a couple of years ago, and that's Jalen Waddle.
Yes, we'll look at him right here. Again, you see the motion. He's looking at the safety. You watch, the quarterback's got his back to it. A quick move on the outside, and if he's even, he's leaving, and he's really leaving, going over 22 miles an hour.
Wow.
Explosive plays offensively.
All right, now look on defense. Vic Fangio's defense. Up front, they got a guy in his contract year having a career year with 8 sacks, and that's a former first-round draft pick in Christian Wilkins, number 94.
Yeah, they do a great job with playing kind of shell defenses and now get you in those situations. We'll look at defensive tackles. This guy's got 6. Here's 8, but it's a great job of sacrificing himself, and then Wilkins coming around for interior pressure above the 2.3, but very quick.
All right, and then at cornerback, it's a perennial Pro Bowler who's now healthy again with 3 picks this season in 7 games, and that's Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, you think of Jalen Ramsey, you think of a press corner, all that, but very instinctive player. They play a lot of shell coverage. Here, they're going to show it here. They got 2 high safeties, but now motion goes. Now he's going to have vision to the quarterback. He knows where his safety is. He reads the quarterback, and he makes an incredible break on the ball, and he's done a couple of those this year. Makes their defense formidable in the back.
Just an idea of what to expect from the Dolphins. Our thanks to Will McClay, and the Mike McCarthy Show continues in a moment when the coach rejoins us.
This segment was brought to you by WinStar World Casino and Resort, the casino of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Blockchain.com. Make your crypto play today.
I feel like just knowing who you are as a team and knowing your identity and staying true to it. Obviously, some things happen along the road in the journey, and it's all about, as you said, bouncing back and just recovering and responding the right way.
The Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy, continues now here inside the Globe Live studio as the coach rejoins us. And let's take an up-close look at this Dolphins defense, a coordinator in Vic Fangio that you have a lot of respect for, and you've gone up against him in the past, and with Chicago, San Francisco, even before that in your career. What do you expect when you see a Fangio defense?
Very disciplined, very consistent. Schematically challenges you. I mean, I think he does a really good job with the week-to-week game plan, stress. There's a lot of scheme there. So, as a play caller, there's a Rolodex approach to it. So that's always a challenge. But Vic's always done a tremendous job.
They've done a great job of getting to the quarterback, too. They've got 48 sacks on the season, led by Bradley Chubb, who had 3 sacks last week, 9.5 on the season, and Christian Wilkins in the interior, Zach Seiler. They bring a number of people at you, don't they?
No doubt about it. It's stunts and games and more games and more games. I mean, it's just a very high active front. I mean, probably when you look at the numbers, similar to the Chargers as far as their approach for us in that Monday night game. But yeah, it's a tremendous front, very active.
Zach Martin had to leave the game early last week, and T.J. Bass came in, got 47 snaps. Of course, he got time earlier in the season when you had injury issues on that offensive line. T.J. Bass is a pretty amazing story where he's come from and being an undrafted guy and being able to contribute this early in his NFL career, isn't he?
So excited for T.J. I mean, you got to be proud of what he's done in his time here. But, when you think of young players, super consistent. Obviously he's taking full advantage of his opportunities. I think with the schedule that both Zach and Tyron on, our younger players getting those reps, you can see the benefits of it from weeks 1 and 2 now to December football, and I thought he did a really nice job jumping in there. Didn't really take us out of anything. So, I thought he played well.
The other guard position, Tyler Smith. I haven't had an opportunity to talk to you about Tyler and just his progress this year from last year. Of course, last year, last minute before the regular season, he gets thrown out to left tackle, and now he's settled in there at left guard this year. Just how far has he progressed, even with as much potential as he had as a first-round draft pick here early in his career?
I think really he's getting to the point in his career where he just has to get over the last hurdle of consistency. I mean, he has plays that are just wow, wild plays, time and time again. And I just think that opportunity for him to be in there with Tyron every snap. You can see, our left side is, man, the last month and a half has just gotten better each week. But just such a young, exciting player.
You get a matchup here where you got the two highest scoring teams in the league. As a coach coming into this game, now you're aggressive by nature, it seems like, in your approach to a game. But what does that do for you when you know that the other team has a potential to score like the Dolphins do?
I think statistics are obviously a big part of what we do as far as in our preparation. But I've always looked at it as a light to shine on, just to make sure you're in tune with the why, of each team. So I think it's obvious you think that, oh man, I got to go into this and be super wildly aggressive. But the reality of the game of football, every game's different. Every ebb and flow of the game, of every game is different. Now there's similar moments and similar situations that, all of us will be able to tie to our past and in those experiences we could draw from. But this game's going to take on an ebb and flow of its own game. But I think the biggest thing is, we need to play the way we have played for the most part of the season. So, and that'll be our approach every week. But yeah, we're cognizant of what's going on the other side. To me, that's part of the ebb and flow in-game, mindset that you got to be connected to. And obviously, the preparation part of it has to prepare us to go win the game, regardless of the direction that it goes.
All right, we wrap up the Mike McCarthy Show in just a moment.
Yeah, it's going to be big to get the run game going this week, especially to keep some of that time possession on our side. A team like them that, does a good job possessing the ball. So, yeah, it'll be big for us.
This segment was brought to you by blockchain.com. Make your crypto play today.
Definitely kind of a little bit on the offense to, put us some points up, knowing that they're going to also kind of be looking for a shootout, but then at the same time, trusting our defense. Watching those guys ball out and holding that offense to, less points than what they're used to. And then I think just all around, we just got to be clean on everything we're doing.
Final couple minutes here of the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy. We hope you're having a great holiday weekend. And time for my Unsung Star of the Week. I'm going off the football field, and I think we all can appreciate this, especially when you're playing a game, Coach, on Christmas Eve at 3:25. Now, this team is going to be getting back into the Metroplex about the same time Santa Claus does, about midnight.
It's going to be a race.
That's exactly right. My Unsung Stars of the Week are the wives, the spouses, the significant others who are preparing for this holiday while you and everybody in this organization are preparing for a game at 3:25 on Sunday afternoon.
I mean, without a doubt, the significant others really are the unsung stars of the year. I mean, none of us could do this without their love and support. And obviously, the holidays is where, they pretty much pick up the ball and run with everything. So yeah, I think that's the best choice you've had all year.
And you probably have gotten your shopping done.
Oh yeah,
because
absolutely.
Someone else will do your shopping for you, right?
Yeah, hopefully, yes.
If you're anything like me, someone else does the shopping for you.
Yeah, I was going to be humorous there, but there's no time for that. But no,
All right. Well, good luck.
I do what I normally do. I'll just say that.
There you go.
It's a good Christmas.
All right. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all of you out there. And we will see you again next week here on the Mike McCarthy Show, powered by Reliant Energy.
The Mike McCarthy Show, presented by Reliant, was brought to you by blockchain.com. Trusted by millions, trusted by America's team. Ford is the best in Texas. Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. It's Miller time. And by Reliant, official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys.